Hey everyone, welcome to Greenlight. So today we're talking about Blu-ray Tuesday movies that are coming out, and it's basically going to be a Quiet Place Part 2 day. So let's get this going right now. All right, so today we're going to be talking about Quiet Place Part 2 and their special features that are included in the Quiet Place Part 2. And we're going to check out all the different type of releases there are on Blu-ray to 4K all the way to the Steelbook, as well as all the rest of the Blu-ray releases of this week. So let's get started right now and let's get into it. If you haven't been here before, my name is Jovanni Santos. Go ahead and subscribe or follow me on Instagram in my personal account or Greenlight's Instagram account as well. We do a lot of filmmaking videos here on this channel. Sometimes we do little tech stuff like that, like Samsung TVs and things like that I have here, as well as iPhone filmmaking stuff, Blender 3D stuff, a lot of stuff when it comes to filmmaking. But basically, this is a educational channel about filmmaking. So when it comes to Blu-rays, I'm a huge collector of Blu-rays. Right now, I was a huge collector of DVDs, but when we transitioned into Blu-rays, I was hardcore into that, and I still very much am, as you can see around me. And I have a bunch more right behind this camera too, and we'll do another video on that eventually. So go ahead and hit the notification bell so you find out about these types of videos as soon as I upload them. I'm also releasing a lot of behind the scenes stuff of new films coming out in theaters too. So we explore a little bit of behind the scenes on these films before you go out to theaters and check them out. Or if you have seen them in theaters, you come out, you want to see some behind the scenes stuff. I try to keep all the filmmaking stuff, all the filmmaking information really like chopped up and try to keep them close together in my videos here on this channel. So that's really what makes it really different. So I take all these broadcasting clips that are free use and bring them out to you so you can learn how to do your own kind of filmmaking. So with all that being said, I mean, that's a huge intro, but let's get started right now. Let's get into this. Let's get the Blu-rays going on here. But like I said before, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you know more about these types of videos. I also do movie code giveaways on Blu-ray unboxings. So if you ever see a Blu-ray unboxing, you can see that. That I do movie code giveaways sometimes. Most of the time I do that because I don't really use them. So, all right, let's get started on the first one, A Quiet Place Part 2. All right, so this is the Blu-ray cover of Quiet Place Part 2. I see that I'm coming like in and out here and stuff like that. I'm still trying to get used to all that. Excuse me. Get used to all this. I'm taking my phone off the Wi-Fi. I don't think it has anything to do with that, but all right, let's move on from the Blu-ray to the 4K cover because it's very similar. And I also have the back end here, so we're going to explore the 4K back end and talk about the special features and everything like that as well. Some good coffee my wife got me. So she got us Folgers. So shout outs to Folgers if you're a big fan of Folgers. So let's check out the back end here. And I'm going to zoom in as well. This is really, really cool background here, especially since this movie has gone through so much when it comes to the pandemic. It was supposed to be released right before the pandemic, and I think it got slightly released. A couple people saw it or something and said how good it was and everything, so I was really excited to check this out. I still have to see the second one. I love the first one. I thought the first one was really clever, and I got to give it to John Krasinski here for that. For being very creative and coming off of, being a comedian, a comedian. Sorry, comedian, comedian. Yeah, a comedian. So basically, he's a comedian. He was on The Office, and for him to do stuff like this is way out of his wheelhouse, so to speak. I would say that just on the strength on the fact that he became famous off of comedy with the Office and everything like that, and he was in multiple movies too over time. And then he came out with a more serious film with Michael Bay, and he did 13 Hours. I don't believe I've seen that yet, but that one's a very good film too, and he acts very well in that. The first one's fantastic. He plays the father, and then in this one, he's also directing. Comes back to direct, so he's got a full-on exclusive. Excuse my coffee maker back there. Folgers, what's in your cup? Um, so exclusive director diary with John Krasinski. So this is something that I'm always looking for when it comes to Blu-rays, special features, these steelbooks and stuff like that, collector's editions of any movie. Usually, if they would have like a documentary or a full-on diary. If they say diaries, it's like mini documentaries, and it's just like multiple, like at least 10 or so of them, and a bunch of them, and you could just press a play all feature and watch them all at once, like a big documentary. So just off the diaries, they're gonna, whenever they say diaries, they usually break these up into different, like more or less chapters, either pre-production, production, or post-production, and then they break up each chapter within each part of the production. Either you're in pre-production, you break up from screenplay onto just a concept art, and just creating your world and just getting started on looking for locations and everything like that. And then you move on to actually filming your film, shooting your film in the production side of things for Quiet Place Part 2. So I believe they're going to be going step by step like this. So I highly recommend that. I highly recommend this Blu-ray now, just off of that, just off of the educational purposes of this film. Having the diaries is a big deal. A lot of movies don't usually do that, but when they go in depth on creating the film, it's like cutting film school, like not only in half, but in like little like bite-size like snacks for you to eat and take in. And it's much easier to retain as a younger person when you're trying to retain how to create a film, and how to have all these, you know, departments running at the same time, and be in motion, and be in the same motion towards creating your vision of your film. It's tough to see that and understand all that. So this is great for beginner filmmakers. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even fade in here. I'm looking at the preview screen. Sorry about that. But as you can see, so that's what's included here, and then it also says plus behind the scenes of visual effects and sound design. Okay, so like I always say here on this channel, if you're here on this channel a lot, whenever they talk about sound design, I always say sound is 90% of any film. And they could say other things, people could say other things, but you could have horrible picture and have great sound, and people will be just enthralled into your movie. You can just have everything like out of focus. Like a perfect film like this is like the Blair Witch Project, Paranormal Activity, things like that, that are just, the camera work is just, it is what it is. And the camera work is basically a character in their film. So yeah, you can basically use the on camera mic, but why do that when you can enhance it with sound design and creating a whole other depth of your film with sound design? So again, I highly recommend this. And I know most kids, they're gonna go straight to the visual effects. I usually, growing up, I used to go straight to the production once they started filming, or even pre-production. Sometimes I'll let pre-production play. I'll be doing something else, just listening to it, and then I get really deep in like in concentration on watching the documentary when they start actually filming it. I get so into it. I'm really a creature of the set. I love being able to figure things out and stuff like that on set. So yeah, I highly recommend this and learning all these things. But and then if you do that and you go to visual effects, that's cool. But I really recommend checking all these other things out. It says another thing is pulling back the curtain, and pulling back the curtain of A Quiet Place Part 2. So that's just going to be a separate little documentary piece. So these special features are also included on the Blu-ray. And yeah, the 4K just has a lot of technical specs when it comes to the color and the sound and everything like that. Cool. And the HDR, the high dynamic range, which I'm not too keen on myself because I've been working closely with my iPhone 12 Pro, and it just tends to brighten everything up instead of keeping the shadows where they're supposed to be. So when you're editing them and you see my little behind the scenes of like Snake Eyes looks a little different. Try to do a little color correcting afterwards and stuff like that, and overly corrected. It doesn't look perfect, but I hope the information serves you well. Yeah, there's like things like that that's a little annoying to me, but it works very well when done right. And when they create these films and they put them on the 4K discs, they're able to get around all that and stuff like that. So very, very cool. All right, so with all that being said, let's move on to their other releases of A Quiet Place Part 2, so we can go and show the Steelbook as well, which it looks really, really cool. So this is A Quiet Place Part 2 and 1, a 2 movie collection on Blu-ray cover. And then we have A Quiet Place Part 2 Steelbook. So this is the front cover. And let's check out the inside of it as well. Very, very cool. I like that inside the Steelbook here. And it just, whenever they do stuff like this and make you feel like you're a part of the world, I really, really like that. It just reminds me of those paperback special edition DVDs back in the days when you had to like slip them out and unfold them, and you have all these discs and paperwork and maybe even some art direction, things signed and stuff like that. I know my Unbreakable did come like that as well, like the DVD Unbreakable, so shout outs to that. But I love stuff like that. That's what I love about these Steelbooks. It kind of gives me that that recall back of that. But since I have a child, Steelbooks are great. I mean, they're going to last long and they can take hits like crazy, and you still have that artwork and it looks beautiful. So let's check out the back of this as well. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the special features, but this is the artwork of the back of it. I love that with the sound waves and everything. Just kind of goes in with the sound design special feature, doesn't it? So really, really, really recommend this Blu-ray or 4K, whichever one you're looking to purchase. And watch the special features. Let me know in the comments down below, in the playback, or in the live chat right now, and I'll give you a shout out which one you're going to get. And let me know what your thoughts are on those special features, because that's chock filled with stuff. I mean, it's just so well worth it. Now, all these movies that I'm talking about here have IMDb links in the description below, so you can check them out, check out the filmmakers, check out the trailers, and check out the cast and crew. You could even check out the technical specs and stuff like that, locations, whatever have you. So go ahead and check them out after the end of this live stream. So we're going to move on to our next Blu-ray release of this week. And it's our next Blu-ray release is Midnight in the Switchgrass, and it stars Megan Fox, Bruce Willis, and Emile Hirsch. This looked actually really good. The trailer actually jumped out at me in a movie that I'm looking to show the trailer to my wife and see if she wants to see it with me, because I think it is interesting enough to check it out. But I think it's a movie that all of you should check out as well. Down in the description below, I do have IMDb links for the trailer and for the filmmakers of this film, so you can check them out. Check out the cast and crew, check out the technical specs, or the location if you like as well. And we're going to move on to our next Blu-ray today. Excuse me. This week it's not a lot of Blu-rays, but we're going to get into it. Yeah, it's not a lot. But the next one is Shiva Baby. Another film worth checking out. Go ahead in the description below. I have IMDb links for this film, so you can check out this film. Check out the filmmakers, check out the cast and crew, and everybody working on this film, and check out all their stuff that they've done before. You could even check out the technical specs of this film as well. And Shiva Baby is out today on Blu-ray, so you can check it out down below as well, in the description down below if you want to. And the next film, quite interesting film too, Every Breath You Take. Sounds like that song. Every breath you take. Which is kind of creepy though. Casey Affleck. And then you got, I don't know who Sam Claflin is, but Michelle Monaghan from Eagle Eyes. So this is definitely going to be like a thriller here. So highly recommend checking this out. I do not have the back ends for all these movies. I tried looking for them, but I don't believe that there is any special features for them since they're coming a little after the pandemic and stuff. It's kind of hard sometimes adding special features to independent films. But if there is, I highly recommend checking, maybe getting a screenshot or something, sending it to me on Instagram or saying something in the comments, and I will say something next week on the live chat. But I'm waiting for people to kind of do these things, because if it does show up later, I'm not gonna bring it up next week or anything like that, especially if it's not educational. But I would love it if people bring it up either on the live stream or later in the playback, and say it in the comments and interact with me, and let's have a conversation, and I'll definitely include it and then give you a shout out for doing that. So let's move on to our next film. Like I said, Every Breath You Take is in the description below. I have IMDb links for this film and for the cast and crew, and you can check out the technical specs and trailers and anything you want for the film as well. You could do that right after all of this, and we're gonna move on to our next film today that's releasing today, and it's The Last Champion. What is this? Heart Has No Revival. Very cool. So this is definitely a wrestling tale here about an up and comer, probably in sports and stuff like that. It looks really inspirational, so I highly recommend this if you're into inspirational sports films. Go ahead in the description below. Go ahead and follow the IMDb links for The Last Champion and check out the filmmakers, check out the cast and crew and trailers if you haven't seen the trailer yet, and or the technical specs. And go ahead and let me know if you're gonna get this film on the playback of the in the comments of the playback or in the live chat. All right, so let's move on to our last film today that's coming out on Blu-ray. And it's another independent type film, and it's called The Birthday Cake. And it's a mafia type film, and I think it's kind of clever. It has a clever title with the birthday cake. But I highly recommend checking out the trailer, because it's a little different in the whole grand scheme of mafia films, which makes it really interesting. So go ahead in the description below, go ahead and click on The Birthday Cake and check out the cast and crew and the trailers and everything like that. And let me know in the comments of the playback or in the live chat if you're looking to check this film out. So let's get me up here. Let's see if there's anybody in the live chat. If there's anybody in the live chat, I'll give you like a quick shout out. Nope, I do not see anybody here on the live chat. So, I'm gonna just sign off here. Go ahead and hit the notification bell if you see anything that you like here, and go ahead and check out this week. You're gonna see Jungle Cruise and Stillwater with Matt Damon, and we're gonna be going behind the scenes of those two films with The Rock on the Jungle Cruise and Matt Damon and the director for Stillwater. I also have a mystery unboxing going on very soon. More or less of a mystery. It is my Criterion collection of what I bought, this 50% off thing that's been going on. I did order an extra one, so it'd be a fourth one going in here soon, of a Blu-ray, Criterion collection Blu-ray. So go ahead and hit the notification bell so you know as soon as this shows up, so you know what kind of Criterion collections that I purchased. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I haven't purchased my own Criterion collection in a while, but I do already have some Criterion collections in my DVD collection, so I already had started that a long time ago with DVDs. So with that being said, go ahead and hit the notification bell and subscribe button and the like on this video, so you could hear more about these type of videos that I do every week.